Video 14.2. What I wanted to talk about in regards to March 29th, I began talking about Andromeda, which few people talk about on YouTube or websites. It seems to be an open and closed myth with few mysteries about it. But as I begin to explore the zodiac and warn people of what is going to happen this year, I'd like to expand on my case for this constellation of Andromeda. As a grown man, there is a responsibility we have as adults to the young. Stories are powerful, myths are powerful. They are engines of the mind, imaginations of our material existence. But if we waste it on shock and horror, which is all I see on streaming services, someone is paying a lot of money to entertain us with the murderous Santa Claus, slasher Thanksgiving, aliens that pick us out of our cars if we make a sound, our doubles are trying to kill us, and a girlfriend's family takes her boyfriend prisoner so her grandfather can take over the boy's body for everlasting life. These movies disturb the young, and they are designed to unsettle the mind. There is no more heroic stories like the movies of the 80s. They give us new ways of making us afraid. They are intentionally designed movies to mislead the masses because, like a shotgun, okay, killing the beast, they'll get somebody in the spread. Kids are dying today because they feel their lives have no purpose, when stories are there to give us purpose. Kids don't embrace life. They complain about it. And when I say this is God needing you, this is in relation to that. Because this is a reflection of Pisces. Whereas you are looking for God here, God is waiting for you to come to her for your search for spirituality. This is the image of God they keep giving us. Okay? From the Old Testament to the New Testament, to the Middle Ages, to the Renaissance, all the way up to Monty Python. Okay? To George Burns. George Burns. And I had to include this one. George Burns. To Morgan Freeman. Okay? Morgan Freeman. Always male. When the age of Aries was a masculine age. The age of Aquarius will be a masculine age. The age of Pisces is a feminine age. These are elements. Does it bring into sense that God, if it is not this, okay, as Jordan Maxwell has said, and I will do my best to repeat, to quote him, not a direct quote, but he said, we've been praying to God to help us for the past 2,000 years, and things are getting worse, just getting worse. Maybe we're praying to the wrong God. Okay? This is what they've been giving us. Okay? Whereas this is here all along in a feminine age. When they told us this is the age of Ichthys, of the fish. Okay? One element is dominant every age. Okay? Since the moon since elements are the moon's factors that for the sun to walk. All right. In Vedic astrology, here are the nakshatras. These are the sun's path that the moon walks. Okay. They exchange their factors. In this element of deep water, there are 3 nakshatras ruled by Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. Same as all other water signs. They have the same kind of energy. Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Okay, but this is the end of the zodiac. This is the beginning, 1, ending at 27. Okay, these are the okay, right here. As you begin your life here and go around the zodiac in the story of the hero's journey, this is where you come back to, and it is a reflection of what you reflect on, what you of your karmas, of everything that you've done. Okay, let's see here. This is the Jupiter one. Pause. All right. In the Jupiter nakshatra, let's see. The trials of worldly desires bring you right here. The trials of worldly desires from your body to your the first 9 nakshatras. This is you finding yourself. From the second group of nakshatras, this is you finding your place in society. And then the third group of nakshatras is you finding your place back in the spirit, because you've had enough of people, basically. That's the sense of it. You've had enough of society, and now you're trying to find meaning in life. And that's where this phase is about. So at the end of worldly desires, if you give it up, Saturn is here as your judge. And if you are, if you are self-disciplined enough, great. You are basically finished. But if you don't have the self-discipline to say you are finished with worldly desires, you go back to Mercury, and then Mercury prepares you for the rest, another time around the zodiac. That's how this works. Okay. All right, back to the zodiac. You have a church here in Cetus, wherein you are the seated. The church is based on Cetus. I'm sorry, Circe. The church is based on Circe.
The very word church. The word church is an English word. From the King's English, it goes back to a word in Scottish, kirk. K-I-R-K is church in English. Kirk in Scotland goes back to a Roman goddess, Circe. Circe goes back to a Greek goddess in Greece called Circe. Circe gave birth to Roman Circe. Roman Circe gave birth to Scottish Kirk, and Scottish Kirk gave birth to the English word church. So consequently, when you go to church, just remember it goes back to Mother Circe in Greece. Circe, if you go back to the library and get some books on Greek mythology, it will tell you that her name gives birth to what we call the church today. And Mother Circe was able to hypnotize people and bring them into her home, hypnotize them, and so that they would lose their mind and become animals, and then she would feed off of them, eat them and feed off of them. That's Greek mythology, Mother Circe. So consequently, Mother Church has done just that. She has hypnotized people, brought people into her house, and consequently lives off of them. One of the most important financial institutions in the world is the Roman Catholic Church, and all the other churches like the Mormons and Seventh-day Adventists and Christadelphians and Jehovah's Witnesses are trying to catch up with.
I'll let that hang there for now. But this church was built by men who hate the woman, just as Levet has taught and has said to us, but know that these men know that the masculine force cannot create anything. So they use the woman as vehicles to steal the woman's powers. We have ships. Ships are always female. Okay. Unfolding the marriage time tradition, are all boats truly female? Okay. Female. Why are boats referred to as she? Okay. At the head of all the old ships. Okay. And then you have this clip.
Now I know why it's called she. It's never been.
So until you realize everything we worship are all vehicles of our worship, you will see that we need to pay attention to them. What are we giving reverence to? Whether faith-based, commercial-based, or military-based. You won't be fighting for what you think you're fighting for. What's good about this world? Plenty. It's all just hidden. They got you playing dualism with only one dice. Let me try to elaborate. All right. I said Andromeda wants you to find her. Does that mean this is her name? No. Her name is many names, just as Jehovah and Yahweh and El are many names. In fact, there are some surprises to her name, which I will get to in future videos. But right now, I want to explore the name Andromeda. Here are some notes. Android, androgynous. Names like Andrew, Andrea, anthropology, anthropomorphize, Andromeda, Andromother, Andromathea, Andromaher. Anthropo is Greek for man. So anthro, mother becomes man's mother, the mother of man. Andromeda, Anthormeda, Meda, mother. Adonis, the perfect man. They use this word in literature, but the Greeks have a hard time not adding the N when saying Adoni. They say Andoni, Anthony. Andor, Star Trek. Andor, Star Wars. Why do I add these? All right, I have these. Why do I have these? Because since 1967, this word described these people on Star Trek. Okay, these people, the Trekkies and the Trekkers, which I was one, had this running through their heads. Now Star Wars comes along, and now you have as they're reinventing the wheel. Now this comes along, same word, different picture. And now we have two groups saying the same word, and you may need an interpreter. I'm being facetious, but you see how the same word is completely based on the picture we're given. I'll stop it here for now and continue.